Hey guys, my name's Dale Finucane. I've been volunteering at the Olympic Park Sports Medicine Centre for the past 12 weeks, where my role has been to observe and engage in research around the area of anxiety and depression in regards to rugby league players. Some of the statistics in general around the disease, it affects approximately 1 in 4 people, either directly or indirectly in their lifetime. And is most prevalent among the ages of 35 to 44 year olds, where females are twice as likely to be diagnosed compared with males. In contrast to this statistic, males make up 80% of the suicide rates in the Australian population, which is a very alarming statistic. And in terms of geographic location, those living in rural and remote areas are more likely to experience the disease than those living in city and inner city areas. The major program that was implemented by the Melbourne Storm Rugby League Football Club, it's a program called the Resilience Project. It was founded by a guy by the name of Hugh van Zylenberg. And the aim of this was to inform us about statistics, research and real life events that Hugh's experienced, whilst relating it back to the area of resilience. I guess it was more so evident for us as rugby league players to develop resilience to have a positive impact on our mental health. There's been a number of players that have either been diagnosed with anxiety and depression or that have committed suicide in recent years. And one of the strategies, I guess, that Jackie Lauder, our sports psychologist, has used is informed practice by utilising Hugh, who is a qualified practitioner, to implement the program. The fact that it's demographic specific to us as elite athletes, it's age relevant, and it's connected to an important area of resilience, is reason why it's been implemented for us. If you look on the right of the poster, potential for success, areas mentioned there are funding, informed practice, principles, specifically empowerment, measuring success, the social cognitive theory and confidentiality. Just to touch on a few of those, the Olympic Park Sports Medicine Centre itself is a very well funded organisation. It's well backed by other organisations in regards to funding. So most community events generally are funded by other organisations. Otherwise, I guess people who are engaging with the practitioners can pay as well. I've made mention of the informed practice with Jackie implementing or utilising Hugh as a qualified practitioner. Just making mention of the social cognitive theory and the empowerment principle. They're probably the two most prominent, I guess, in terms of anxiety and depression. The social cognitive theory, I guess, reinforcement is the key element there, where reinforcing behaviours and positive behaviours. For example, making sure, I'll touch on this shortly, but making sure you're continually doing your application, which is one of the elements of Hugh's program. And just on empowerment, internal personal factors, behavioural patterns and environmental influences obviously are very influential with individuals. So things like their support networks, their family, their friends, they're all going to have a major impact on the individual's well-being. And self-reinforcement, I guess, is the key there in dealing with this mental health issue. Just as I said, touching on the other part of Hugh's program was the Smiling Mind application, which asks individuals to rate how they're feeling out of 10, and then engage in a meditation process. And then once they've finished that process, gauge again how they're feeling, whether they're whether they're emotionally feeling any different to what they were previously. I think this is a very important tool to utilise, especially for rugby league players. I guess to keep mental stability. And in evaluating the program as a whole, it has excellent facilities and programs, as I've mentioned. Huge program, namely. It is well researched. The medical centre itself has a department that is solely based on research. Their sole occupation is to research the area of mental health, and the partnerships, I guess, not only with the Melbourne Storm, but other universities and many other departments. And finally, the program is catered to accommodate the individual needs. So for us as rugby league players, it was catered to us and what we needed. So in conclusion, the Resilience Project has been very successful, implemented for rugby league players in the Olympic Park Medicine Centre. It was very successful, I guess, in finding Q to implement that program. Thank you.